Morning, this is XAM Black, and your STEM challenge for today is to build the tallest derrick. When we think about derricks, maybe we think about this kind of a structure on a ship, or around our area more often you'd think of it as a piece of equipment used in the oil field. Oil field derricks like this are used especially in drilling wells. It's a tall structure that supports the weight of the drilling pipe, so it holds this weight up and supports this whole column of pipe that's being used to drill a well. We also use a smaller derrick like this for, they're called pulling rigs, so when a well has to be worked on, we also stand up a derrick like this to hold the tubing or whatever. These are normally for drill pipe or casing, so it's something that's used every day in the state of Oklahoma. In our energy industry, it's also used in shipping. So it's a shape that you'll see, and it's a really interesting thing for us to think about building, just using items we find around our household. Some things that are important about a derrick: it needs to be strong, in this case especially strong. Your challenge is to build the tallest derrick, so we still need it to be fairly strong and above all stable. So we're going to look at some things that we could use and make decisions based on the stability that we need to make the derrick as tall as possible. So here's some things I found around my kitchen that I would consider using. I like these skewers a lot because you can get really tall really fast with these. The problem with them is they're not at all stable, meaning what they really want to do is fall over. And if your derrick falls over, it's real bad. So I would probably save those more for the top when all I'm caring about is just getting taller. I don't have to be concerned about supporting the weight of the derrick itself. I like these plates because they're lightweight, but they can kind of flatten and level the weight that's being supported. I like this pop or this can of soup or maybe a peanut butter jar, and you might wonder why. It's going to really help us to have some kind of weight at the bottom to stabilize the tower. So if my tower is attached to these guys, or even this, or maybe this, that weight will kind of help the tower want to sit there. See how this peanut butter jar does not want to fall over, as opposed to this guy, which definitely immediately wants to fall over. So I want to have something kind of heavy at the bottom to support the base, and then I can build up from there. So watch what I would do, and then we'll see what you think about this. So if you look at this, so far we have a good base for our tower. It's very stable. I chose the peanut butter jar ultimately, and then as you can see, I used a little bit of tape just to attach this plate to the peanut butter jar, and the plate gives me a nice flat space to build the second kind of midsection of my tower. So I'm using these oatmeal cups because they have a little bit of weight but not a lot, and they're very stackable, so I've stacked those up a little bit. Now I'm thinking about using these cups, and I think I'll tape a couple of them together like this because that makes a really sturdy, stable little midsection for our tower. So I'll probably do a couple of those together. And then I love these cardboard tubes because they're very stable, sturdy, lightweight, and easy to find. So let's see what that looks like. So you can see our tower is not super straight, but it is going up. I went ahead and taped this midsection with the green cups to the oatmeal cups. Probably I should go back and put tape on that first cup here to attach that. And I have a plate on top, so I have another flat place to build. Another part of this challenge is not only should it be the tallest, but it needs to be freestanding. So in other words, I can't just stack stuff up and lean it against a wall, or notice it's not taped to the table. So it's holding its own weight, or it's freestanding, which is an important consideration for us. So now I'm going to look at these skewers and these cardboard tubes and figure out the top of our skyscraper or our derrick and see how tall I can make it. Okay, so you can see that I've put some additional tape on the oatmeal cups to kind of secure that. Another thing about having this nice jar of peanut butter at the bottom is that lowers my center of gravity for the tower. If my center of gravity is way up here, it's going to be way more likely to fall over. But it's like if I can keep the main mass of it lower, that helps the tower not want to fall over. Now I've used these 2 cardboard tubes. I taped those together, you can see. And then I've taped my skewers together to make this top section. So we'll see how well this does. We'll try and tape that to that plate and see how tall our tower is. So here's my tallest tower. It's a thing of beauty for sure. It's pretty tall. You can see that section of the tallest, the skewers that I didn't get to use because it just put too much torque on the top and kept falling over. I'd love to see the towers you could build. Just pick 20 things from around your house and see how tall of a tower you can build. Remember, it needs to be freestanding. You don't care how beautiful it is. You just want it to be tall, freestanding, and maybe set a time limit, like it has to stand for 5 minutes or something, like not touching anything, not just throw it up and it falls right down, but freestanding, 5 minutes of standing, use 20 items you find around your house. Have fun with this challenge.